Growing up, Jinger Duggar was surrounded by television cameras for 17 years. Zulo was part of TLC's reality television shows 19 Kids and Counting. And counting on today, Jinger is a mother of 2 soon-to-be 3 and an author of 2 books, My Story of Disentangling Faith from Fear, and the soon-to-be released People Please Her Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations. In October, Jinger and her husband Jeremy announced they were expecting their 3rd child. In a recent YouTube video, the couple announced they were expecting their first beau. Why that I am speechless, said Jeremy in the video, that I was so shocked to find out it was a boy, because I felt like everything felt the same. I actually had a lot of similarities to the pregnancy with the girl, said Jinger in an interview with Entertainment Tonight. I was so shocked I almost fell off my chair. Couple says they plan to keep the name a secret until the baby is born. Baby Vu is due in March 2025. Jinger and Jeremy were married in November 2016, and are parents to Felicity and Evangeline. Jinger Duggar has spent most of her life in front of reality TV cameras, but all of that changed when Counting On was canceled in 2021. Since then, she and husband Jeremy Vu have lived a much more private life with their 2 daughters, though they have shared a lot of their lives on social media. But now that 4 years have passed away from the cameras, would Jinger ever return to reality TV? On this week's episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, Jinger and Jeremy talked about her reality TV past, including whether or not she'd ever be open to sharing her life the same way in the future. This point, it's a no, especially if it meant following every aspect of life the way that her family shows did. That I don't know. I don't think so. Not right now, not in this season of life, Jinger said on the podcast. That's not to say that she doesn't have happy memories from filming Counting On and 19 Kids and Counting. It's because of those happy memories that returning to reality TV wouldn't create the same feelings as it did the first time around. For all those years, you have the sweet memories of traveling and stuff, but it's not all the same, because you wouldn't have your same film crew, you wouldn't have your same people you're working with, she said, and you're not filming as a larger family unit, so there's lots of things that would feel so drastically different if you did a show again. Jeremy seemed to support his wife on that front, admitting that it could lead to a trap of constantly living in the past out. If there's too much nostalgia, it can lead to this depression because you're thinking, man, I'll never get that back, or it'll never have this opportunity again, he said. Fortunately, it seems Jinger has had no problems moving forward now that her reality TV days are behind her. Not only does she host a podcast with Jeremy, but she's also authored multiple books, including her most recent release, People Please Her Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, which was released earlier this month. And now that she's expecting her 3rd child, a baby boy beau, she has a lot to look forward to this year too, if Jinger ever wants to take another stab at being a reality star. There's no doubt there will be plenty of fans ready to tune in, but she's got enough going for her these days that it wouldn't be surprising if that's all she wanted to focus on from here on out. Jinger Duggar Vu has lived her life off of TV for more than 3 years now, but the former TLC star revealed this week whether or not she would consider turning to the reality TV world, with or without her very famous family. As fans of the Duggars know, Jinger and her family starred on 19 Kids and Counting for years before going on to appear with most of the Duggar family on Counting On until the series was canceled in 2021. Jinger and her husband Jeremy Vu now live in California with their children, with the couple only making occasional visits to Jinger's family home in Arkansas for Duggar weddings and other events. P also share vlogs and host a podcast cleverly titled the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, where they keep fans updated on their lives and discuss various topics, including their time on reality TV on this week's episode of the podcast. Jinger opened up about the years she spent growing up in front of the camera, noting that it wasn't just the show's viewers who got to watch her and her siblings grow up on TV, but also the people behind the scenes. Crew members that were there, they saw us grow up and change, she said, mentioning the show's producer and director Scott. You know who Jinger said was there from day one. They have seen all of the stages of you developing as a person, going from the age of 10 to 27, where you were just a kid careless, then you start to become a teenager nature. She continued, you're walking through that stage, you're super awkward, then you go up to where you're meeting your spouse. And then you fall in love, you get married, then you have kids. You know, you move away, all those things. I feel like they were just a huge part of our life, she said of the film crew, admitting that not having them around is something she misses about being on reality TV. Jinger said she also has fond memories of things like going on vacations and doing promotional photo shoots for the TLC series, but realizes there's definitely a downside to appearing on reality TV as well when you think about the reality side of things. You're opening up your life there in your space every day. She said that's a different vibe. And so I don't know if I would go back to the reality TV side of things. When asked by her husband if she would ever consider giving reality TV another go, Jinger said she believes those days are truly behind her. I don't think I would do another one. And would I say that there are days where you feel like you miss some aspects of it, Jinger said, noting that it was a big part of her life for so long. It's what I knew. It's what I did, and it's just strange not having it there anymore. It's kind of weird, so sometimes it feels like okay. If that was their life, would feel more normal, she continued at the same time. 4 years removed from it, I think that it's also a different pace of life, and just being able to live your life and not think twice about it, I think that's also a good change. Watch the latest episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast below and know there are no explanations as to why Jinger is making this face. Jinger Duggar view of 19 kids and counting fame started on reality television more than 2 decades ago with her family's first documentary, and spent many years in front of the cameras that changed after charges were filed against her brother Josh Duggar for child pornography. Now, nearly 4 years after Counting On was canceled as the 19 Kids and Counting spin-off, Jinger weighed in on whether she'd want to return to reality television. And I can't say I blame her for her response. Wallow, now 31, spent many years of her youth in front of a camera along with much of the rest of her family. She has since moved on from the lifestyle of 19 Kids and Counting, which involved literally moving to California and starting to wear pants. A mom of 2, she revealed on the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, where she stands on a return to reality TV. There's sides of it that you miss, but then there are lots of aspects that I don't miss. I don't know. I don't think so. Not right now. Not in this season of life. There was filming or something that would happen. That's fine. It's good, but like a reality show like it was before, I don't think so. Not the same way for sure. Jinger's last regular appearances on reality television were as part of the 11 seasons of Counting On, which launched in late 2015 after 19 Kids and Counting was canceled earlier that year in the wake of the allegations against Josh Duggar for child molestation. Counted On was then canceled in 2021 ahead of Josh Duggar's trial, with TLC releasing a statement that the network felt it is important to give the Duggar family the opportunity to address their situation privately, with how much of her life that she spent in the spotlight, what her family went through with Josh's eventual conviction, and her later comments on the disturbing religious environment of her youth. I Can't say that I blame Jinger for wanting to stay away from aspects of reality television that she doesn't miss. That's not to say that she only had bad. Memory of her TLC years, though, as she went on to say for all those years you have the sweet memories of traveling and stuff, but it's not all the same 'cause you wouldn't have your same film crew, you wouldn't have your same people you're working with, and you're not filming as a larger family unit, so there's lots of things that would feel so drastically different if you did a show again even. If Jinger did want to return to reality television with her family, they wouldn't be able to just pick up where they left off with the same team behind the scenes. Her sister Jessa has debunked rumors of a falling out, but the siblings just live different lives now. Plus it wasn't that long ago that Jinger shared that it was hard and scary to speak up about her life in the 19 kids and counting household. All in all, Jinger Duggar seems content with the life she's built with husband Jeremy and their 2 kids without having it broadcast as a reality show. If she does ever come back to the sphere of reality TV, fans just shouldn't count on a repeat of 19 kids and counting on.